So yesterday, I had this conversation with Charlie. I'd always wanted to have. Well, I didn't know I wanted to have it until I had it. Once I had it, I was like, now I have to have a conversation with Shay. The conversation was about Charlie and when he knew he had autism, what he thought about autism, how it has affected his life. So I was going to ask you, as a sibling, a neurotypical sibling, when did you know you were different than Charlie?
I don't know. I mean, I think everyone's different from everyone else, so but I don't think I ever thought about it like he's autistic and I'm not. I don't think I've ever thought about it like that.
When did you know he had autism?
I don't remember. I really don't remember. There are a couple relatives in the family that do have autism, and you know, like you meet someone, you can just, I feel like because I've grown up with relatives with autism, it's just like, you know, you meet someone and they have like this thing about them, and that's when you're like, oh, so they either have Asperger's, or they're autistic, or they're just a little quirky. Like, that could just be their personality.
Quirky. That is so the word. When I meet someone that I think, oh, this reminds me of so-and-so, it's always...
Or like a TV character. Like, you can tell they were written as quirky.
Sheldon.
Yeah, like that. I don't think I've ever, like, thought about it, though, like, you know, he has a disability. Like, I never thought about it as a disability. That's just what it's called. But I don't really think that's fair. It's not a disability, it's just a difference. It's just a quirk. A quirk that we were born with, which we were all born with quirks. So just because someone is on a spectrum, that doesn't mean they're any less person or any less human than the rest of us. But I knew you had always told us, like you were just told that Charlie was diagnosed when he was, what, 2?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And he went to all these special therapists, and he had a speech therapist and a music therapist, and like he had a lot. There's a lot happening, and I think they faded out as we got older. But I remember being really young, and there was like this really cool room that for some therapists of some sort, I don't remember what it was, but they had like this swinging chair, and
that
I was
an
2.
Occupational therapist.
Yeah, and that was like the first time I remember being in there, and it was just like, oh, like that was fun for me too. Like there was nothing happening in an occupational therapy office that was like dangerous or anything. Like it was just, okay.
He's counting down. We told him we were going to go play tennis in 15 minutes and put the shell down. It's 7 minutes because that's what they do.
But yeah, I don't think, I remember certain therapists, and I remember Mom used to work with him on speech therapy at home. We had like a piece of paper with words and vowels and stuff. I think the one thing I remember although speech therapy kind of has nothing to do with autism, it's just another one of Charlie's quirks.
No, but in my research this morning, it says that children with autism have a higher incidence or occurrence for
speech apraxia? Deficits?
Yes.
Interesting, I didn't know that.
No, I didn't either, because even in his video, I was like, well, I mean, yes, you have speech, apraxia of speech, however, that's not like anything to do with autism. Well, apparently, it is much
higher.
More people with autism that I know, they speak more robotically. Kind of a flat affect, or without, like, you know how I'm constantly like, you know, yeah, they're not like that. Although I always wonder, like, I wonder if I have autism, because I just don't even pick up on things sometimes. Like, I kind of wonder. When I was watching this 21-year-old girl talk about her autism, I went, oh, that's me too. She has no desire for friends. She has 3 friends and says, I have no desire for friends. I don't have time for it. I don't need it. It's like...
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Right, and so I was like, what if I'm autistic? I don't want friends. It's not that I don't want them. I want what I want, and if you can't fit in that box, then I'd rather not. You're kind of like that though too, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like the one bad thing about autism though is that is OCD, but I think you could also have OCD to that extreme measure even without autism. And I feel like for the person I don't have OCD, but for the person who's living with OCD, that must be a really big struggle. And I've seen it from the outside.
That impulse that you have, yeah.
Yeah.
I bet.
I feel like that would be really, really hard to live with. So that's a challenge.
Did you ever feel like you had to be protective of Charlie?
I think that's just my personality.
So your personality, you feel, is that way. I kind of wonder, like, did you develop the way you developed
Because of Charlie, or was I developed for Charlie? I don't know. I feel
nurture
like,
versus nature? Versus God going, I need to make you to fit into this family for this reason.
But when we were younger, I didn't really think anything different of Charlie. Like, I didn't think he was any lower or any above, any higher than me on intelligence or maturity. We were just related, and he was my older brother, and that was it. I was an interim translator for a little bit before he figured out how to really talk for himself. I don't really know. Like, that didn't change my opinion or feelings about him either. That was just life. Like,
One
that's
time,
just what happened.
we were up at the North Playground, and a little kid said, "Why does he talk that way?" Do you remember that?
Vaguely.
Like,
yes.
it happened a few times where people would say, "Why does he talk that way?" And I always wondered.
Yeah, I remember that. I don't remember what I said, but I remember that.
Do you remember what you were thinking? What you might have been thinking?
No.
Because I never
Now I
said
think
anything.
about it.
I never said anything, but I knew you took care of it.
Yeah. Well, now that I think about it, I would have been angry if a kid asked me that right now. Like, why does he talk like that? I'd be like, what is wrong with you? What do you mean, why does he talk like that? Why do you talk like that? I mean, that's just me now. But I'm sure I came up with something nicer than that.
What about when you had, when you were at school? People would call you Charlie's sister.
Okay, so when Charlie was in kindergarten, I was in pre-K, and I was homeschooled. So I would go with Mom. She would volunteer at the library or go have lunch with Charlie.
He went to public school.
Yeah, so he was in kindergarten. So I would just tag along when Mom would go to have lunch with Charlie or go volunteer, something at the school. And so everyone knew Mom and I as Charlie's mom and Charlie's little sister. So when I got to kindergarten, finally, it was, oh, hey, that's Charlie's little sister. It's like, oh, look, it's Charlie and Charlie's little sister. Wait, you remember that one time?
Even at church. I mean, everywhere we went, you were
Yeah,
Charlie's
you remember that
sister.
one time we went to like a 1 week summer camp and we did that play, and we ran into that woman a couple years later, and she goes, like, we were walking
The director
on the street.
of the
She
art
goes,
center.
oh, look, it's Charlie and Charlie's little sister. And I was like, Shayna, actually. Yeah, Shayna. Yeah, so I've just always been Charlie's little sister.
Do you feel like in the last year or so that you've kind of made a name for yourself? Like, you're a standalone, you're not part of Charlie and Shayna?
No. That's funny, like the traveling band, Charlie and Shay. I don't know. We don't really know that many kids, although recently we have come to know a lot of kids. I don't know. I feel like I've always wanted to be more independent or just been more independent just because I want people, I want to be independent. I'm okay with going out of my comfort zone, but I don't want the other people to know it's out of my comfort zone because I'm independent, like that kind of thing. But I don't know, it is always nice to have Charlie there. Like, even today, he was sleeping, and then Mom was like, do you want to go play tennis? And I was like, yeah. And then, what are we gonna do? And Charlie was like, wait, I'm up, I'll come. And I was like, yay, he's gonna come with us. I just think that's like a sibling thing. Like, just having some, I love you, and we hang out all the time, and we have a good time, and I'm not.
It's not, though. It's not a sibling thing.
No, it's just I
No.
can't even
What I'm
describe our
saying
relationship.
is, yeah, but what I'm saying is, it's not norm. Like, the norm is, oh my gosh, I want to get away from my sibling, or I want to do something one-on-one with my parent, which we do all the time. But no, I think it's extra special, unique, great. I'm jealous of it. I wish I had that with my sibling, that you guys look for each other. And I remember when Charlie used to, the kids never came to us with a nightmare when they were little. Never.
What?
Never.
What are you talking about? Yes, I did.
I did.
Not when you were little, no.
Not when we were little. When we were.
I
a little
remember
bit older.
Shayna coming into my room and saying, I said, why is Charlie sleeping in your room? Oh, he had a nightmare. He came to the nightmare. And I'm like,
Oh, really?
yeah, you were
remember that.
really young.
I don't remember that. Charlie and I don't fight often, which is just really weird. It's really weird. and he annoys me in the mornings when he talks to me about his dreams for 17 minutes. When I'm trying to do schoolwork.
He knows this.
At 8 o'clock in the morning, because I don't like to be talked to in the morning. But I still love him. But I think, I like having Charlie at tennis. Like that's the only social situation that it's like just the two of us. But yeah, so I could go to tennis without him, but it's obviously I prefer to go to it with him. Like if he was like, okay, I don't feel great today, I don't really want to go, or I have something happening, I can't go to tennis, and it's like,
girl.
I know. She shut up the second we did, and she started talking the second we did.
Also, Charlie said, it's awkward for me to have social interactions, at tennis when there are new people, and I'm like, I think even Shayna has awkward. It's hard for you to introduce yourself, or
it is, but I don't let anybody else know that because I'm a prideful person. So it's like, hey, I'm Shay. Who are you? And on the inside, it's like I've been trying to build up the nerve for 5 minutes now to say hi.
See?
But I think you have a lot less pride than I do, which is great. So you show people that you're nervous or that you're not any better than them, and I am not that. I have to prove myself, and they have to know that I'm better than them. Or going out of my way to introduce myself in either.
When you're saying
situation.
better, are you referring to being better at tennis or better as a person overall?
Yeah, just
like I've got this together.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, just like not being I can't
shy.
Yeah.
Not being insecure.
Yes, insecure. Thank you. There's nothing.
So you're saying you're insecure?
Yes.
Yes. What are you insecure about?
I don't know. I just like it's a no. I'm not
coming across as.
Yeah. Okay. I'm insecure about people thinking that I'm like. I can't describe it. I don't want people to think that I'm nervous or I don't know, just not having it together.
You have a poker face. That's what you're trying to check.
Yeah, something like that. And it's not like I totally put on an act. It's not like I put on an act and be like, so yeah, I'm this great person, but then, when I'm alone, it's like I curl up into the fetal position or anything. It's just like, I'm not an outgoing person.
Would you like to come across as humble?
I would like to, yeah.
Do you feel
this conversation does not make me look humble?
No, it's so authentic. Would you like to make a friend? Because you really don't have any friends.
But I don't think that I need many friends or any. I mean, I'm just a very picky person. I'm a picky people person. But it's like I have family, and I feel like I don't need friends.
Which really could be very cultural. Because
just the way I was brought up.
Yeah, you're just a different kid.
Yeah.
You guys are just different.
Yeah.
I never set out
I think
to
that's
raise
the bottom
kids
line.
like this. Is you guys are just different. I don't know if it's because of parenting or if it's because of the experiences in our life, in our family. All right, are we ready to go play tennis?
I was born ready.
Okay.
Like this morning. I woke up ready.
Well, let's go play some
I was not
tennis.
necessarily born ready. Okay. Hey guys, we hope you liked that video. Please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I can't. It's such a
What am I supposed to say?